G'day guys, welcome back. Too many projects, not enough time. I'm Andrew, back here in the shop today working on Ivy. You caught me there, I wasn't paying attention. So, just before we get started here, I was just pondering, looking at this boxer intake that I really want to use. It's got 4 SUs on it, I've mentioned it before. Really love to do EFI on this. Now there are some expensive ways to do to buy off-the-shelf EFI SUs. Lots of stuff about them. Haven't actually found some solid information about them, except for they exist. So anyway, kind of planning some other options, possibly mounting the injectors down here, setting all the sensors up. Anyway, enough of that for now. That's a long way away. So if you have any ideas, let me know concerning this or anything that we do. Remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep up. Anyway, so what we're doing today we're going to work on Ivy's steering column. So the steering column we're using on Ivy is I guess it's an earlier Defender steering column, from the steering wheel down to through the firewall here. Rather than using the series one, which is usually attached right to a box, but we don't want to do that because we have the Defender and coil suspension steering box in the front. So the column we're using is an early Defender. Now I have it all pulled apart right now. I got all the bearings out, both ends, the shaft out. If anyone happens to know where I can get replacement bearings, top and bottom, these will be okay because we're just steering, we're not like rolling down the road with these. So these will be okay, but I wouldn't mind replacing them with new if someone knows the code. I've done a ton of research, cannot seem to find codes for these top and bottom bearings for the shaft. Plenty of shafts to buy new, complete unit, but not these replacement bearings. I've even tried taking them into bearing shops and they just look at them and shake their head and wish me the best of luck. So I can make these work for sure, but if I get new ones, I'll replace them with new ones. So today we're going to give this a sandblast in the sandblast booth, clean it all up, give it some paint, put it back together, clean and grease the bearings, put it all back together. And the shaft itself here is, obviously, it came out of a Defender, so it's the Defender one. Now with the Defender one, I don't have a Defender steering wheel, but I have the one out of the 93 Range Rover, and it fits on the end. So that would work to have a Range Rover steering wheel, or even a Defender style one, which is similar to this. In Ivy, nice leather bound steering wheel, but it looks a little new, being the Range Rover one. So this will definitely work as an option. It slides on the end, we put the nut on the end, lock her down. Obviously we won't have the cruise control, for example, but it will work. Now the other option to keep Ivy looking a little more classic is to go with the wire series steering wheel. This one was given to me. It is in horrible shape. It is quite trashed. So on a future video, probably a long while down the track here, I'm actually going to remove all the plastic from around here, or what the specific element is, I'm not sure, but basically remove all this, clean the wire up, get rid of all the rust off it, and cast a new acrylic grip on the outside of this one. And then eventually it will be leather bound when Ivy's finished. But we are going to rectify this ugly looking one and put a new acrylic hand grip around the outside. So like and subscribe and hang around for that one in the future. How is this going to work on the Defender shaft, you ask? Well, I sent it off to a buddy of mine for machining of what's the better term for it? The teeth. You know the term, comment below. Basically it was not designed to take a series one, so he added them all up and then carefully machined on the end to, oh, you know what? Here, let me put this one down. I have it stunt double right here. This one's off my 80-inch. Not the best condition either, so we're going to restore this one as well, but better than that one. This one doesn't have the bolt through it, so it'll slide on quick. So this slides on and fits on just like a series one, but on the Defender steering column. So that's cool. So we'll be able to use the series wheel on the Defender shaft in Ivy. And if we change our mind and we want to go back to a Defender steering wheel or the Range Rover one, we've still got the ability to do that on the top as well. So we've doubled the use of this steering shaft. So enough rambling. Let's get this cleaned up. Let's get the bearing greased. Let's get this painted, put it all back together, and be ready to pop it into Ivy. Alright guys, welcome back. Next day here, and we did put a little bit of the black on just to give it a little bit of texture and color so it didn't look half unfinished, but we will give it a proper paint job towards the end. So now time to reassemble this, and so this is the tube, and then now we got to figure out how to stuff the shaft back through it with the bearings. So we did pull the bearings apart, or pull the bearings out. This bearing here, which is the lower bearing, does have this little nylon cover, making it a sealed bearing. It had disintegrated on the inside, so what we're going to do, actually it was on the outside, but we're going to flip the bearing around. We packed it full, cleaned it right out, packed it full of grease, and we're going to put the grease side facing up inside the tube. And hopefully that lasts a long time, unless I happen to find some part numbers for these bearings. If anyone knows them, going over that again. And then the needle bearing for the top of the tube. I did pull the center out of this, pulled it out successfully. It is fiddly. If it falls apart on you and you lose any of the needle bearings within that, you're in trouble. I say, because I'm not really sure where to buy bearings. I was being careful. It did fall apart on me, but I didn't lose all the needles. I managed to pop them all back in carefully and then slip it back inside this rubber casing, and get it all back together and cleaned up and packed full of grease again. So it's ready to go again as well. But once again, if we find a number, I'll put a new one in. Why not? So alright, let's go back on the bench here, and we're going to try and reassemble the shaft and have that ready to go for Ivy.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill.
Anyway, we got her all back together, and she spins just free and nice, and got it all back together. All the bearings are re-greased, cleaned, shaft has been blasted, and looks pretty now. So we will clean her up and give her a good paint job at the end when we're doing all the finishing touches and final installs, because I'm sure she'll get a scratch or two in the meantime when we're test fitting everything in the meantime. And so there it is. And then we have the choice for a steering wheel, say Defender / Range Rover, because that's what fits the shaft originally. If I can get it lined up. Oop, there we go. Got it lined up. Now we've still got a little bit down here showing with that, but I really don't want this kind of wheel. I really want the spoke to series wheel, and that will be fit down a little bit better. This will actually go all the way to about a 1/16 within here, and then bolt up nice and tight, and that will look pretty seamless and finished there. And there we have it. Thanks for coming along. Remember to like and subscribe, and stick around for the next videos.